Hello and welcome to the Daily Comic and Collectible, episode 280. Now today, the collectible of the day is the Mezco Toys, Living Dead Dolls, Universal Monsters, Dracula 10-inch scale doll. Dracula, one of the first Universal monsters, and hands down the most famous vampire of all time, is now a living dead doll. The King of Vampires is now an addition to Mezco's Living Dead doll line. From his widow's peak to the hem of his cape, every detail is captured in the Universal Monster Dracula doll. Measuring 10 inches tall, Count Dracula comes in a collector-friendly window box featuring art from the famous film. Dracula wears one of the most regal outfits for a Living Dead doll. He comes in full evening dress with trademark cape, famous medallion, and carnelian stone ring, and even his watch chain is carefully recreated. This doll beckons you to your own doom. Released by Mezco Toys. Now the comic of the day is X-Men 92, issue number 3, volume 2, with a cover date of July 2016. With story by Chad Bowers and Chris Sims, art by Alti Fermandia, and cover by David Nakayama. This issue is titled, The World is a Vampire. The story opens somewhere in the deepest, darkest corners of Limbo, where there's a mysterious Gothic castle that serves as a meeting place for the Council of Cross-Time Draculas, a dark cabal of various incarnations of Count Dracula throughout the multiverse. The council convenes, and the head Dracula says they've been called to order to witness a great victory for vampire kind, because in one reality, the very nature of what it means to be a Nosferatu is about to be changed forever. We join the X-Men at the Castle Dracula of their reality. Storm has sought out Dracula, believing he's the only one powerful enough to cure the other mutants of their affliction. Dracula agrees to help, but only if Storm becomes his bride. Storm outright refuses, but when he insists, Storm reminds him that while he may be king in his realm, she's a goddess. Storm offers a new deal. Either Dracula helps them, or she will call down the thunder on him to rip his castle from its very foundation. Dracula agrees to the terms, but warns her that nothing in this world comes without a cost. Back at the Xavier Institute, Beast and the Professor are helping the remaining students with a heartbeat escape their now vampiric classmates. But things become worse when Alpha Red arrives at the mansion, now having added Wolverine, Rogue, and Gambit to his ranks of the undead. Alpha storms the mansion, locates Cerebro, and tells his acolytes to boot up something called the Darkhold program. Back in Transylvania, while Edie, a teleporting mutant who serves as the X-Men's ride home, recovers her strength, Dracula admits that Alpha Red is actually his son, Janus. Obsessed with surpassing his father as Lord of the Undead, he tried to augment his powers by using the Russian super soldier serum. The process augmented his powers tenfold, but also changed the nature of his bite. Instead of granting immortality, his victims crumbled to dust after their first night, meaning the afflicted X-Men have a ticking time clock. The X-Men and Dracula return to the mansion and are greeted by Alpha and the afflicted mutants. Storm blasts them with the sunlight, but it has no effect. The issue ends with Alpha Red claiming he has eliminated the weakness of his people and given birth to a new evolution of both mutant and vampire. Geek Fact: the Council of Cross-Time Draculas were a multiversal group of Draculas summoned by the Dark Master. This was their first appearance. He summoned them because he sensed a power shift on Earth 15730. It was revealed to be Dead Girl, using the Darkhold to utter the words, no more vampires, wiping them from the earth. Similar to the House of M storyline with the Scarlet Witch, and no more mutants. Bonus geek fact. Alpha Red's real name is Janus. He's the product of the love between Dracula and the only woman he ever loved before meeting Storm. When Dead Girl made her choice, everyone, including Dracula and Alpha Red, became normal. But due to the power amplification Janus went through, his human body couldn't withstand it and he died in his father's arms. And final geek fact. The first appearance of Dead Girl in comics was in X-Force issue number 125 with a cover date of 2002. She has the mutant abilities of a regenerative healing factor, toxin immunity, sharp claws, limb reanimation, meaning she can control her own limbs when not attached to her body, intangibility, so she can walk on the air, and necromancy and necrokinesis, meaning she can communicate with cells, bacteria, dead and rotting tissue of corpses, speak with the dead, spiritually or physically, and can temporarily raise the recently deceased as zombies or as ghosts. Well, I'd like to thank you for joining me for today's Daily Comic and Collectible, and I hope to see you again tomorrow. This is CatFan ComicsMan, and I'll catch you on the flip. Over and out.